Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dugout Daily, the place where we break down everything Manchester City. In this video, we're previewing the match where Champions League action returns to the Etihad Stadium on Tuesday evening when Manchester City host Real Madrid in the second leg of our last 16 tie. If you're not already following us on X at MCFC Hibs, make sure you hit that follow button because we drop updates every time a new video goes out here. While you're here, smash that like button, drop your score prediction in the comments and subscribe so you never miss a video. Manchester City face a mammoth task to keep our Champions League ambitions alive after Federico Valverde's brilliant first-half hat-trick put Real Madrid in complete control of this last 16 meeting. That first leg last Wednesday ended Real Madrid 3, Manchester City 0, with Valverde scoring in the 20th, 27th and 42nd minutes to leave Pep Guardiola's side needing a miracle at home. Let's look at how Manchester City have been performing in the Premier League and Cups leading into this game. We turned up the heat in the title race by taking apart Fulham 3-0 on the 11th of February with goals from Antoine Semenyo, Nico O'Reilly and Erling Haaland. A much-changed side then survived scares to beat League Two Salford City 2-0 in the FA Cup fourth round on Valentine's Day, thanks to an own goal and a late Mark Guehi goal. We followed that up with a tense 2-1 Premier League win over Newcastle on the 21st of February as Nico O'Reilly scored twice either side of a Lewis Hall equaliser. Then came a gritty 1-0 victory at Leeds on the 28th of February as Antoine Semenyo netted just before half-time. Title-chasing City stumbled at home on the 4th of March as we were held 2-2 by relegation-threatened Nottingham Forest despite goals from Semenyo and Rodri. We bounced back in the FA Cup fifth round last Saturday as we came from behind to beat Newcastle 3-1 with goals from Savinho and 2 from Omar Marmoush. And most recently, after the first leg against Real Madrid, we were held 1-1 by West Ham on Saturday as Bernardo Silva scored before Konstantinos Mavropanos levelled it up. In our last 8 matches across all competitions, City have won 5, drawn 2 and lost 1. We haven't kept a clean sheet in 4 and have gone 1-0 down in 2 of the last 3 after going 1 up in the previous 5. City's recent form has had raised concerns, That 1-1 draw at West Ham did little to lift spirits and our attacking struggles are clear. Erling Haaland's managed only 4 goals in his last 17 games. Phil Foden's still searching for his best form, and players like Jeremy Doku and Shirky have struggled to influence games consistently despite their lack of minutes. Defensively, things have improved, but against a team of Real Madrid's quality, this could be costly. This is the 5th consecutive season these two giants meet in the Champions League knockouts, with Los Blancos winning the last 2 ties. Now turning to our Champions League form, it's been a rollercoaster. A much-changed side lost 2-0 to Bayer Leverkusen in the league phase back on the 25th of November. We bounced back brilliantly as we recovered from a goal down to beat Real Madrid 2-1 away on the 10th of December with Nico O'Reilly and a Haaland penalty. Then came one of the biggest shocks in the competition's history, when Norwegian side Bodo Glimt beat us 3-1 in the Arctic Circle on the 20th of January, before City made light work of Galatasaray 2-0 on the 28th of January. Of course, the main story of our campaign so far is that heavy 3-0 defeat in the first leg against Real Madrid. In our last 5 Champions League games, City have won 2 and lost 3. Real Madrid arrive in Manchester full of confidence after an impressive run. They beat Real Sociedad 4-1 on Valentine's Day, with Vinicius Jr. scoring twice from the spot and Valverde also on target. They then had a brilliant 1-0 win away at Benfica in the Champions League playoff first leg on the 17th of February. They then had a 2-1 loss to Osasuna on the 21st of February, where Vinicius scored. They secured progression to the last 16 in the Champions League with a 2-1 home win over Benfica on the 25th of February to win 3-1 on aggregate. They then had a shock 1-0 defeat at Getafe on the 2nd of March. They responded with a 2-1 win at Celta Vigo last Friday, thanks to a Valverde stoppage time winner. Then came the 3-0 first leg demolition of City on Wednesday before they had a thumping 4-1 league win over Elche on Saturday, where Arda Güler scored from inside his own half. In the last 8 matches across all competitions, Real have won 6 and lost 2. They've won the last 3, where each game has had at least 3 goals. Real Madrid will travel in a confident mood after that 4-1 win over Elche. They've won 4 of their last 5 in all competitions and historically are dominant at this stage, winning 13 of their last 15 round of 16 ties. Their only 2 failures came in 2019 against Ajax and 2020 against Manchester City. Against Premier League sides, they've won 12 of their last 15 knockout ties. City did beat them earlier in the league phase, but that first leg result has firmly swung momentum Madrid's way. Their Champions League journey has also been dramatic. They thrashed Monaco 6-1 in the league phase on the 20th of January, with Mbappe scoring twice. They then suffered a 4-2 defeat to Benfica, on the 28th of January before beating them 1-0 away in the playoff first leg and 2-1 at home in the second leg to go through 3-1 on aggregate. And of course, that dominant 3-0 win over City in the first leg of this tie. These 2 sides have met 5 times in the Champions League knockout stages in the last 5 seasons, and it's always been dramatic. Back in April 2024, these are the last 5 games, of course, it was 3-3 in the first leg of our quarter-final before Madrid won on penalties in the return leg. In February 2025, Madrid won the playoff tie 6-3 on aggregate, but City did get a 2-1 league phase win over them on the 10th of December 2025 before this latest 3-0 defeat. Los Blancos arrive in England holding a commanding 3-0 advantage after that dominant first leg victory to leave the citizens with a major task if we're to overturn the deficit and keep our European hopes alive. Pep Guardiola's side struggled to respond after the break in Madrid, and the defeat sparked criticism of his tactical choices, especially leaving Phil Foden, Omar Marmoush and Ryan Cherki on the bench till late, while giving Savinho only his second start since injury. Guardiola defended those selections, but will almost certainly go with a stronger and more familiar lineup at the Etihad. Pep Guardiola has admitted his team definitely need to be perfect to pull off a remarkable Champions League remontada. He knows the task is massive to score at least 3 goals against Madrid and says it has to be a perfect game in many departments. The manager insisted he's not concerned about creating chances and believes the Etihad crowd can create incredible momentum. He even revealed the team selection is more or less decided with just one slight doubt. Guardiola also gave his players the day off on Monday after a hectic schedule, opting for a short session on Tuesday afternoon instead because he wants them fresh and mentally strong. Speaking of team news, Manchester City are without Josko Vardiol and Rico Lewis for injury, but Mateo Kovacic is back available. The predicted lineup looks like Donnarumma in goal, A back four of Núñez, Diaz, Guehi and Aït-Nouri, with Rodri and Silva in defensive midfield, with Shirky on the right, Semenyo on the left, and O'Reilly behind Haaland in attack. For Real Madrid, Jude Bellingham, Kylian Mbappe and David Alaba are all doubts but have travelled. Rodrigo's out long-term with an ACL injury, as Dani Ceballos, Ferland Mendy and Alvaro Carreras are also sidelined. The predicted lineup for Real Madrid is Courtois in goal, a back four of Trent, Rudiger, Howson and Garcia, with Valverde, Tchouaméni and Camavinga in midfield, with Güler on the right, Brahim Diaz on the left and Vinicius up top. The game kicks off at 8 p.m. UK time at the Etihad Stadium. It will be shown live on Amazon Prime Video in the UK and on Paramount Plus in the USA. Highlights will be available afterwards on Amazon Prime, TNT Sports and both clubs' YouTube channels. Manchester City are likely to produce a stronger performance in front of our home crowd and could even win on the night, but overturning a 3-goal deficit against a side with Real Madrid's experience remains a daunting task. I'm going for a 3-1 win on the night, which means Los Blancos progress 4-3 on aggregate. Of course, I hope I'm wrong. It's going to be an electric atmosphere at the Etihad, hopefully, and we could see one of the greatest comebacks in Champions League history, or another night that proves why Real Madrid are the kings of Europe. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe to Dugout Daily and following us on X at MCFC Hibs for reactions after the game, and drop your own prediction below. Hit like if you've enjoyed this preview, subscribe for more, and we will see you after the match for a live review with myself and Dan. Come on, City. Cheers, guys.